Hello there, and welcome to Healing the World Together. My name is Victoria Dio, and today I have got somebody who I have been championing for a while, and she's just going from strength to strength. You need to meet her. Janine McDonald, hello.
Hello. Thank
How
you
are
so much for
you?
inviting me on.
I love it. Do you know what? I've been waiting for this for so long. Like, we've been trying to get this sorted out, and then you got really busy, and I got busy. And it just feels like the most perfect time to have this conversation. Now,
Yeah.
I want to introduce you to Janine. So, Janine is an award-winning decluttering specialist. She's also an organizing philosopher and best-selling author and a global speaker. Hello? That's a lot. You like literally, you're like Mary Poppins with all these different skills and what have you.
Sometimes I just think, though, it's like, is that me?
It is you.
I
It is.
think,
It
yeah,
is
actually, yeah.
you. I know. It's incredible. Can I just ask you, what got you into decluttering? Because that's not how you started, was it?
No. I spent a whole career from leaving school for 20 plus years
Yeah.
in banking. And then I was made redundant. And there's so like it's a bit two pronged in a way, in that I started struggling with my mental well-being. My marriage was breaking down. I had
Mm,
two very, very small children at the time. And I can remember exactly I was in the front room at the old house, and there was a few toys on the floor in the corner of the room.
yeah.
And part of my brain was going, Janine, it's only going to take 5 minutes, just get them packed away. And the other half was going, no, I'm not letting you move. I am not letting you put your feet in front of each other to get to that corner.
Oh, wow.
And later I found out that that is decision paralysis.
Right.
And it's when you're living in that fight, flight, or freeze.
Right.
And I was in the freeze.
Okay.
And I struggled for quite some time.
Yeah.
And it was, oh, yeah, a long time afterwards.
Mm,
I started getting my confidence back and I started saying to myself, just three things. And I still use that today. So it was just three things. And it was, don't even choose what you're picking up. It's the three things that are closest to you.
yeah.
And then it's, do I pack it away, throw it away, or recycle it in some way? And literally, I started with that. And I had doom bags, I had a bit of a doom room. And yeah, it was just really overwhelming. And eventually, I
Mm,
managed to clear the clutter.
mm,
And I thought, right, okay. So then, as I was redundant and I couldn't get a job and I wasn't well, so I wasn't well enough to work,
yeah.
that I was starting helping other people. Just like
Right.
somebody would say, oh, I need to sort the kids' books out. And all of a sudden I'd go, oh, shall we do it now? So we would, and it would take like
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes instead of the hour, hour and a half that it would take them on their own.
Mm,
And then also, I had an elderly friend who was downsizing, and she
yeah.
passed away only a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I remember I was sat on the bed. She was like a surrogate grandma to my kids. And I was sat on the bed with her. We were sorting some things out. And she
Yeah.
went, Janine, she said, I love you coming and helping me.
Oh,
And I just went, I love coming to be with you. I really love your company. And she said, no. She said, I really like you coming. You
oh,
listen. You listen to the stories. You listen to the adventures that I went through with all
yeah.
these possessions. My family just tell me what to do.
Right.
And I just saw actually that came back to me afterwards. And when I started, literally 2 weeks before lockdown, her little message kept coming back to me.
Yeah.
And I thought, "Do you know what? I've needed help.
Yeah.
Instagram and lockdown were just putting so much pressure on people that people do need that support.
Mm,
And I'm not. Insta perfect by a long, long way.
Perfect. I like that. Insta perfect. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. No, you've done so well. I love um and I love the energy that you put towards it because it can be quite a clinical activity where you go
Yeah,
in, you go in, you declutter, you leave, and
yeah,
sometimes I think what people forget is that if you need decluttering, it's normally because something's happened. There's a
yes,
build-up of something. So
yeah,
there's a story behind it. It didn't just happen. It's like there's a build-up of emotions, of
exactly.
thoughts and feelings and everything else. So
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah. And it's I think this is what makes me a little bit different
Mm,
in that I'm very, very person-centered. I listen to that story
mm,
because without that story,
yeah,
I don't know what their relationship is like with the possessions in the
100%.
home.
100%.
And by getting to know them and by doing things in conversation,
Yeah,
that helps us move forward as
100%.
well
Yeah,
to like release them back
yeah,
to being able to live their life because they've
completely.
become so stuck.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I've got so much I want to talk to you about today, but you kindly agreed that we'd talk about what it was like working with me because you are one of my clients and I love what you're doing. Like I saw you the other day in Manchester and I couldn't stop hugging you and just being so
Yeah.
proud. Um, and I just wanted to ask you, sort of, what was life like before we started working together? What was going on?
I was in a bit of a rut.
Right.
I was like this, you know when you have a swan that it looks quite nice on the outside and underneath
Yes.
it's going like this.
Hmm.
And I felt like that, but I also didn't feel like the swan on the top. I felt that it was coming up out of the water and it was my brain was frantic. And working with you has managed to slow everything down and actually see the vision
Mm.
on what I want to do and where I want to be. And I
Mm.
feel like I've also stepped up within myself as well.
You look so different. Business wise, how was business before we worked together?
It was okay. It was
Mm.
it was running along.
Mm.
I was jumping from client to client to client. I was looking at a bit like shiny object syndrome. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yes, yes, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that. And then I wasn't closing the loop on anything.
Yes.
And my neurodivergent perimenopausal brain was just like scattered everywhere as it's brought it more aligned
Mm.
and aligned with the difference that I want to make in the world.
And you can really tell that, like you stood up and spoke at the big festoon. And I've never heard you speak with such authority before. It was incredible. And I know that you've been speaking on a lot of stages since we worked together. And hearing what you did at the Big Festoon, ask that question in front of all these people, hundreds of people to be exact, it showed me what you're like on other stages, which is just incredible. Now, what did it feel like receiving your purpose? Because you're one of the few people in the world who has received their purpose.
At first, absolutely honest, I was like, I don't think this is my purpose. I don't think so. I'm not so sure. And I know I messaged you going, I'm really not so sure whether I've got my
You
purpose or
did.
not.
You did.
And but afterwards, it just seemed to flow.
Yeah.
So although it wasn't that defining, I now have my sense of purpose.
Yeah.
I knew what I needed to do and
Yeah.
I knew the direction that I needed to be heading in.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that before.
Thank you. So yeah, it's so interesting because a lot of people normally say, well, what if I don't want the purpose? It's like, no, that is your purpose. And but you were lucky to be on the extra 6 weeks with me. So we had that relationship where you came back and went, I remember I still have the message. And you were like, Vic, I'm not sure about my purpose. I was like, it's
Yeah.
okay. And we sat down. And then straight away, as soon as we had that conversation, everything just went ding, 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 ding. And the world opened up around you. So what does life look like now?
I love the different things that I'm doing and the opportunities that are coming my way,
Yeah,
which I didn't have before. I didn't feel that I had before.
yeah.
So, like you say, I stood up at the big festival and I asked that question. I've also now started putting myself forward for different things and really stepping up with my speaking. And, I spoke to a group of therapists who were based in the Netherlands last week.
Amazing.
And it's just, a podcast was released yesterday, actually, that
Yeah,
I recorded with a grief podcast in America.
amazing.
So the links and the foundations that I'm building
Mm.
are there now to see me forward.
And last question, financially, has there been much difference?
It is different,
Yeah,
not world-changingly at the
yeah,
moment,
yeah.
but it's going in the right direction.
That's amazing.
As before, I was actually holding myself back
Yeah,
in that almost through circumstances, I was only letting myself go so far.
yeah.
And I had this wall, if you will, and I was
Mm,
having to keep behind this wall. Now I'm trying to push through that wall.
beautiful. And you know what? I said this to you when we met up in Manchester. You look different. Your
Yeah,
skin looks different, like you're glowing. And it happens with pretty much most people who receive their purpose. Like there's something that happens that just, it's almost like all that weight has just been dropped off your shoulders. And it doesn't mean that life's perfect either, does it?
no, not at all. No, 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 nothing's ever perfect.
No.
And in fact, I wear t-shirts. I do have branded things for when I go out and about, but I
Yeah,
don't have branded things when I go and see clients. I wear positive statement t-shirts instead. And there's one that I have and it says perfectly imperfect on it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. Now, let's go back into decluttering because you want to talk about how your environment can heal you.
Yeah.
In what way do you think it can heal us?
My business strapline is clear home, clear head, clear heart.
100%.
And if you have a clearer home or office or your environment, it opens up your mind and it opens up your mind to being, more productive, more creative. You sleep better, your relationships are better, you make better food choices, you don't lose things as much, you can find things quicker, and it opens up your heart to abundance. And when I say abundance, it's not more stuff, it's the opportunities. So it may be somebody ringing you on the off chance going, "Oh, I'm just coming through,
Mm,
passing the end of your road. Can I pop in for a brew?" And, instead of hiding and pretending that you were out, you can say, "That would be lovely," because you can open the door and you know that your home and your environment is is okay. And you're not having to rush round tidying up. And again,
mm,
it's not about being perfect. It's about what you're feeling comfortable with
mm.
because everybody's version of clutter is different.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Yeah, I've never thought about it like that, but you're right. Everybody's idea of clutter is different. So somebody could have maybe a pair of shoes out of the way and they'd think that was clutter. Meanwhile, somebody else
Yeah,
would be a house full of all
yeah.
sorts.
I
Now,
had a client who I walked in and I was a bit like, I don't actually know what I can do here. I wish my house was like this. But she was really worked up
oh, bless.
because she didn't feel in control of her environment.
Yeah.
So I actually rejigged the dining kitchen and made it like a coffee station. So we did more reorganizing rather than decluttering. But she'd gone to the nth degree in that they only had 8 plates, they only had 8 cups. It was very much, it was this amount.
Mm.
But she was so determined not to be like her father, who is an extreme hoarder, where you struggle to get in the front door. So
Right.
it's gone totally
The opposite
the
way.
other way. And she's putting a lot of pressure on herself that she had to stay with hardly anything because if she started getting new things, she'd end up being like her dad.
Wow. I wonder if she became like a mum instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like I wonder if so you've had a long leadership career before this work, as you mentioned at the beginning. So how did you shape the way you now see space, pressure, and performance? How does your previous career affect how you see space, pressure, and performance now?
Where I was before, it was very, obviously, banking is very regulated.
Right.
And it was, you had to have clear desk policy, you had health and safety, you had all the risk assessment, you had all the other policies to adhere by,
Yeah.
and of course, the safety and security of the
Mm.
staff.
Hmm.
So the spaces were sometimes quite clinical,
Okay.
but then certainly probably up till mid 1990s,
Yeah.
there was so much paper filing, and filing would always get left. And
Right.
then it was like, oh, when the internet went down or when the servers went down, it was like, oh, that's when you do your filing. As now, it's very much if you do things as you're going along,
Yeah.
it's not a chore. But there's things that I've brought with me
Mm.
in things like labeling things.
Yeah.
We would have labeled boxes
Mm.
with what was in them,
Mm.
and what letters of the alphabet they related to. So that way, yes, I label things, but it's for a different reason.
Yes.
So within the banking, it was very much to go and find where something was.
Mm.
Within the organising and decluttering, it's very much so that other people in the house know where things belong.
Very good point.
If it's labelled, you're more likely to put things away.
Very good point.
And that label can be anything. So it may be, I've got a label maker, and my daughter went berserk when I got it. The whole house was labelled, every bedroom. It was just like she
I
went
love
mad.
that.
But it could be, if it's kid stuff, it
Mm.
could be a drawing that they've done
Right.
of a car, for instance, or it might be something that they've cut out of a magazine. So it's to get the other people in the house involved in
Okay.
what's happening. And a lot of people will say to me, a lot of clients will say, oh no, they won't get involved, they don't do anything. And I just go, watch this.
Mm.
And I can get them involved and I get them actively involved and
Yeah.
on board with the process. And they always go, oh, if I asked them that, they wouldn't do it. And I say, yes, I ask my kids to do things and they don't do it for me, but they'll do it
Yeah.
for somebody else. And
I think
sometimes it's just how it's worded.
right.
And also it's somebody else, but also it's an outside view.
Okay.
So for instance, I was doing an online session and this scenario came up where the partner wasn't getting involved. So
Mm.
they walked past the screen and I just went, hi. I said, excuse me. I said, we're just sorting out these boxes, but we've already got stuff for the charity shop. Would you be able to go and put it in the boot of the car? Yeah, 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 of course I can. Of course I can. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Could you
Yeah.
drop it off at the charity shop tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
So that's taking the responsibility from the person who was actually doing the decluttering. So it's looking at shifting the responsibilities for people
Okay.
as well.
So you get them involved. That's how you do it. You get them involved so that they can then take ownership and do their own bit.
Yeah,
Brilliant. So
yeah.
when someone says that I just need to get organized, what is it that you hear? And what is it that they're not saying out loud?
So what they hear is when they say I need to get organized or I need to declutter, it's everything. The life, the home,
Right.
the office, any environment that they're in, it's very general and big.
Hmm. Okay.
So what they actually mean is that they want to get their life in a way that they are calmer, more relaxed,
Hmm.
more open, and not like tense all the time. They can go to bed or watch TV at the end of the day knowing that things are done,
Right.
knowing that they can switch off
Yeah.
and actually start to relax. Because if you're watching TV in an evening and you've got things in your peripheral vision,
Hmm.
that's a signal to your brain to go, your work's not done here, you've not
Hmm.
finished.
Okay. So then what does clutter tend to represent emotionally for the people you work with?
It's a lot of it is the overwhelm. So it's not necessarily they can't be bothered to put things away
Mm.
because I've never come across anybody like that. They
Mm.
have a struggle that stops them, which is usually overwhelm,
Right.
to actually get on task and do it. There's also resentment there if they feel that they are the only person doing it, or they feel that everybody else thinks it should be them to do it.
Yeah, I get that. Especially
Yeah,
in homes where nobody pulls their weight and what have you. It's like,
yes,
why should I always be doing this, right? Like,
yeah.
why is it always
It's
left to me?
it's things like when you put something on the stairs,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
automatically
Yeah.
expect people to see what's on the stairs going up, and if it belongs to them, take it up. Does
Yeah.
that happen? No, it doesn't. They'll literally mountaineer around the stairs to get past everything. But
Okay.
it's because they're not seeing things. So it's just saying, as you're going up the stairs, can you take the bits that are yours?
Yeah.
Or literally handing them a box that's theirs. But reducing that overwhelm,
Yeah.
say by me being alongside them or having a friend alongside them, gives them that dopamine, gives them that body doubling and accountability to get a task done. Because we don't see decluttering and organizing like we see a job that
Okay.
maybe we go to work and we do X, Y, and Z, but then you come home and you're not transferring those skills into the home.
Brilliant. So when someone begins to change their space, what exactly shifts? And are there any on expectations, things that they may be surprised by?
Yeah, it starts to shift everything.
Right.
So I can see the negative energy starting to disperse. I'll initially walk in, I'm very friendly, very happy, always have a smile.
Hmm.
And I go in, we have a chat, and they're very down, shoulders rounded. Um, the body language is reserved. They tend to say words like, I'm embarrassed, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know where to start, why am I like this?
Okay.
And by the end of the session, they are stood up tall, their eyes are sparkling again. They're going that I'm excited for the next session. I'm motivated. I can see
Yeah.
what my space can be like. And I've had a client whose friend messaged me
Yeah.
and literally just said, thank you for changing my friend's life. Because she'd been holding on to things.
Yeah.
And one of them was a letter that was 20 odd years old. And when we
Okay.
were talking about it, she said, well, it makes me feel cross.
Oh,
So we explored that, and she was telling me what was on her mind. And the next thing I knew, she was like, I'll be back in a minute. And I could hear this bzzz, and she shredded it.
good girl.
And I said, how do you feel now? And she went, I feel so much lighter. And I
Mm.
think you've been carrying that in a closed cupboard for over 20 years. That's a lot of negative energy inside you and in your home.
Yeah.
So I think the space feels lighter. They feel more energized, more positive, more engaged
Yeah.
with friends, family, and life.
Good. Thank you. So you've talked about neurodivergence. So how does overwhelm show up differently for neurodivergent individuals?
And again, everybody's different.
Right.
Everybody's different. But a lot of it is chaos. So a lot of packaging comes in
Yeah.
because things are ordered online. It's that dopamine hit.
Hmm.
Oh, I'll buy this. And then it comes and they're like, well, what do I do with it now? So it stays either unopened in the box
Right.
or it'll be taken out and the box will still be there because they're looking at it as a whole rather
Mm.
than breaking it down into different tasks. So for I always give an example of what I do. With my washing, it
Okay.
comes out of the washing machine and I'll put it on the rack or outside on the line.
Yeah.
When it's dry, I bundle it all up, carry it through, dump it on the lounge floor, and then I sit and fold it.
Okay.
So by moving rooms has given that break in the task and you're doing it in a different environment. Then to put them away, you change again and it's going upstairs to put them away in the cupboards. But with some, it'll be okay, so the washing's been folded,
Mm.
and one person may be, I only need one thing at once. I can't deal
Yeah.
with the washing to pack away. So it's those are your trousers. Go and put your trousers away. When you've
Mm.
done that, come back. And then they get the tops, and then they might get the socks. So it's splitting it down and down and down. And there's clients I've worked with who are neurodivergent. They've had lots and lots of packaging.
Yeah.
They have medical things. So there's an awful lot of rubbish and recycling.
Mm.
So we actually made arrangements with the council that they got an extra recycling bin
Okay.
and also an extra household bin without having to pay for them. And that has changed how their house is so much
Amazing.
because they can then look at, right, okay, so I've got the item.
Yeah.
Okay, that might then stay sat for
Hmm.
quite a while, but then the boxes can go out to recycling. They may not go out straight away, but they
Yeah.
know when bin day is, so that's when it might go out. But it's working with everybody individually
Yeah.
so that you can get strategies for them and how their life is,
Yeah.
how they use the house, because there's no point keeping the shoes at the front door if they always use the back door.
Very true.
But people think, oh, well, I should keep that there. Well, why should you? It's
Yeah.
not working for you. So what do you think about us moving it round? And it's like, oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. And you don't think of it because it's
No.
constant, it's there all the time. So
Yeah,
you end up not
exactly.
seeing it.
Exactly. So, what are people holding on to? Because it's obviously more than the item itself when it comes to hoarding.
Yeah. A lot of people are holding on to the memories
Mm.
that go with the stuff. Clothes are very emotional,
Right.
as well as sentimental items. So what I would say, if there's anything that you have at the moment that you would like somebody to inherit,
Yeah.
consider passing it on now,
Okay.
but ask them if they would like it first. Because then you can enjoy it. You've got freer space, but you can
Mm.
see that person enjoying the item
Very good point.
as well,
Yeah.
rather than it being stuck up in the loft and you're not, you know, having to sort it out after everything. Um, but yeah, emotion is a lot of it. Or the other one may be, well, I paid a lot of money for that. yes, you did pay a lot of money for it, but even if you sold it,
Mm,
you're not going to get that money back.
no.
It's gone. It's gone. And what I would tend to advise is that set yourself a limit.
Okay.
So if something is worth over, say, £20, you consider selling it, but you have to sell it within 3 weeks.
Mm,
If it's under that, what's more important? The financial bits that may come
yeah.
or your headspace.
Well, that takes
I've
me. Sorry, go on.
I've yet to have one client to say that they want to sell everything. It's all they always say straight away, I want the headspace.
See that, thank you. So that takes me to the next question, which is, have you seen links between clutter and identity in
Yeah.
past versions of someone's life?
Yes. Yeah.
How does that show up?
That can show up. I had one lady I was helping and was doing the wardrobe,
Yeah.
and there was like 5 and 6 outfits on one coat hanger. And we'd built up a relationship, so we'd we could have a laugh with each other. And I was pulling them all out, putting them on the bed, and I'm like, how many are on this one? And we were laughing about it. But actually, what we did have a conversation about was that a lot of these clothes had been given to her. And we were talking about it, and I said, it's like you're living somebody else's life.
Oh,
And she just stopped and she just went, I am.
yeah.
I said,
It's a
I know
lot.
your personality, and these clothes are not your personality. And she's like, no, I don't really wear them, but I felt like I had to keep them because somebody had given them to me.
Mm,
I said, but did you want them given to you? I said, because what they're probably thinking is that, oh, I'll pass them on to such a body. They'll really appreciate them.
yeah.
They'll like them. They're out of my house now, so that's it. I don't care what happens to them. But yet that burden is now on somebody else.
Yeah.
And we actually cleared so many clothes that we managed to get everything in just on one coat hanger.
Wow.
And she turned around and said to me, Janine, she said, you've actually saved me about £500 here. She said, because I thought I was going to have to go and buy a new work wardrobe, which she needed all black.
Yeah.
And she said, we found it again. So she, I don't need to go out and spend any more money on getting new things. I've found me and
Yeah.
I've found my wardrobe again.
Oh my God, I could talk to you all day. Um, Couple of more questions. So if somebody says that decluttering is the same as tidying, what are they missing?
They're missing the whole concept of how they want their life to change.
Yeah.
And this is what happens a lot of the time when you do it yourself. And I'm guilty of it as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
in that you think you're decluttering, but actually you're not. You're just tidying and organizing. So we've got more things now than what people have ever had.
Yeah.
But what doesn't happen is that when something breaks or you buy new clothes or that you don't pass on the other things
Right.
as
Hmm.
in previous generations they would have done.
Okay.
Or you may have shared things and borrowed things from each other.
Yeah.
As now it's like, oh well, I need to have that. But if you think with some of the online platforms that you can buy from, it's one click. Not even you don't have to put payment details in. It's literally, I want that, click, you bought it, and that's it, it's on its way.
Right.
So there's no going to the shop, looking
Mhm.
at it,
Mhm.
comparing this and that.
Yeah.
Everything you can compare is online. And again, it's like that one click. And for Amazon, their most popular time for shopping and one click purchases
Mm.
is 2 a.m. when
Oh, I'm
people
sure I
can't
bought something
sleep.
at 2 a.m. the other day. I feel called out.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel called out.
So it's when people can't sleep. They've woken up, the phone's right next to them.
Yeah.
It's mums who are up feeding in the night as well.
Yeah.
It's carers who are supporting others, but they're having to stay awake. But so that they can then look after the client that they're with. So
Mm.
yeah, 2 a.m. And that hits home really. You'd have never bought anything at 2 a.m. 10 years ago.
But I love it. I do love having access to stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I love having access, but I've had to go through that phase of not having too much because I just used
Yeah,
to collect, 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 which is why I believe that, when when you have a declutter around, it also helps pull out your identity because,
yeah,
a lot of it is masked with each other.
yes,
So, on
yeah,
behalf of all those people whose homes you're going to be decluttering, I want to say thank you because I've had somebody come and help me when I first moved into a home that I moved into years ago, and it was the best investment ever. It
yeah,
really, like literally, my mind just went calm.
yeah.
It was beautiful. So, tell us, what have you got coming up in the future, in the next few months?
So in the next few months, I've got a masterclass coming up. I've got a joint session where it's it's where you can come, you can ask questions, and it's all about grief.
Right,
So decluttering after grief.
right.
And we've had one on separation and divorce. I've got my book, of course,
Your book, yes.
which I'm very, very proud of. And also, obviously, my one-to-one. And I'm moving in to house staging. So decluttering and house staging and consultancy so that to get your property ready for the market
Mm,
to get the best possible price.
love it. I love it. Well, final question before you go. If there's somebody out there thinking, I literally don't know what to do with my space and I could really do with some help, what would be your piece of advice for them?
To pick up the phone and ring me,
Good.
and I will just have no obligation chat and just see what the next move is for that person. The other thing is the just three things.
Yes.
So literally pick up three things that are closest to you. You've taken out that level of decision making because you've literally just picked them up,
Mm.
and then take action on those three items. And you'll probably find you'll do another three as well. But just starting off by that three doesn't overwhelm you.
Janine McDonald, thank you so much. That has been quite enlightening. I
Thank you.
wasn't sure which route it was going to go down, but there's a lot there for me to take away, and I'm sure for everybody who's listening. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and I will see you later. Take care.